Gatito Misifu. Gatito Misifu was a lovely little cat living with her mom in a small house. Her white fur resembled pure snow. One day, her mom wanted to go to the market. She wanted to make sure her daughter would be safe and gave clear instructions before leaving. My sweet little girl, I will be back very soon. Meanwhile, you stay home and you do not open the door for anyone. Gatito listened to her mom and started reading a book. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door.
Who is it?
It's Sun Sansu. Sun Sansu, Gatito's friend, was a beautiful brown cat, very energetic and reckless. Come on, open the door.
I cannot. Mommy said not to open the door for anyone.
Okay, you come outside then.
I cannot either. Mommy said to stay home.
Come on, she meant not to open the door for strangers, but she was surely not referring to me. I am your best friend, and she knows me very well. Come, let's play. I have a new ball to show you, and we will stay here. Gatito thought about the logical analysis Sun Sansu stated.
Okay, but we will play next to our door.
Sure, and we won't be late. We'll play for a few minutes, and you'll get back inside before your mom returns. And so, Gatito Misifu went to play with her convincing friend. They shot the ball, ran after it, and had lots of fun. At some point, Sun Sansu kicked it very high. The ball bumped into a tree and rolled down the field. The two little friends quickly followed its path to catch it, but the ball continued rolling down the road. The little cats trailed it constantly. They splashed into mud puddles, ran into bushes, jumped into garbage bins. Well, they surely did not notice the time spent nor the place they went. When the sky began to turn dark, signaling the approaching night, they looked around and realized they had no clue where they were anymore. Gatito panicked.
Oh dear, what time is it? And how can we get back home?
No worries. I can get you back in a cinch. But Sun Sansu was completely unaware of their location. He started asking around. How can we go to Swift Road? No idea. Never heard of it. Oh, it's in a completely different region. They received different answers, but none could guide them home. They had difficulty retracing their steps. They struggled to remember the places they passed by. It was a long and difficult trip. When Gatito Misifu stepped on the threshold of her house, it was really dark and late. Her mother answered her knocking with a voice filled with tears.
Who is it at this time? It's me, Gatito Misifu.
Her mother quickly opened the door, desperately searching for her daughter, but then promptly shut it upon seeing her.
Go away! You're a fraud! No, Mommy, it's Gatito, your little daughter. Not at all. My sweet little one has white fur and smells lovely. I don't know you. Go away.
Gatito Misifu was left outside in the night. Tired and cold, she was trembling like a leaf. The wild voices around her and the freezing weather competed to make her shake more. She curled up around herself on a bench and remained vigilant to her surroundings. Suddenly, lightning struck and the storm began. The rain fell in a downpour, and the little cat couldn't help herself from crying all night. In the early morning, her mother went out to check on news concerning her missing daughter at the police station. It was then that she saw Gatito on that bench. Luckily, with the storm over, the rain had washed her, and her original fur reappeared.
Oh dear, I was crazy not knowing where you were. I contacted everyone in my phone book and filed a report at the police station. Honey, what happened? Why are you sleeping here in the cold? And why didn't you come inside? I tried to, but you didn't let me in yesterday. What? Was it you? But no, it was a dirty gray cat. Sorry, Mom, for not respecting your instructions. It was me. I got lost.
Her mother wrapped her warmly and escorted her home for a soothing shower and some care. Mommy no longer needed to explain much to her daughter about why she should have followed the safety instructions. Gatito Misifu had fully grasped the importance of respecting adults' guidance, and henceforth she vowed never to defy her mama again. The Ugly Duckling. On a little farm, long ago, lived a cute duck family. Mommy Duck was sitting on her 7 eggs, waiting for her new ducklings to hatch. One sunny morning, the eggs began to hatch. One by one, yellow ducklings stepped out of their shells. They shook their wings with excitement.
Look at you! You are all so cute!
But one large egg was still in the nest.
Well, it looks like that big egg will take more time.
So, she had to go sit on her nest again and wait longer. At last, the largest egg hatched. With great confusion, the poor duckling began to look around. His mother and siblings were a bit more confused than he was, because this duck in particular did not look like his siblings. He was built much broader and had gray and white feathers.
What is that? He cannot be one of us. I have never seen such an ugly duckling.
How can you say such a thing? That's not nice. Now line up. We will go to the lake for your very first swim.
Yet the other ducklings quacked.
Ugly, ugly, ugly.
The ugly duckling did not know why the other ducklings were yelling at him. He took the last spot in line. Each yellow duck jumped in the river and swam behind Mama Duck. When it was his turn, the ugly duckling jumped in and started to paddle too. He was a great swimmer. Later on, each time the ugly duckling tried to play with his brothers and sisters, they yelled,
Go away! We will not play with you. You are ugly.
Time was passing, and the ugly duckling was growing up to be different. All the animals on the farm were bullying him.
Ugly duckling, ugly duckling, ugly duckling.
Mother Duck, on the other hand, was doing her best to protect him. She couldn't bear to see that poor child so sad. But as the days passed, the poor ugly duckling was feeling worse. All night long he would silently cry.
Just because I am ugly doesn't mean everyone has to be mean. No one wants to play with me or even talk to me.
One day, one of the yellow ducklings said to the ugly duckling,
You know what? You would do us all a big favor if you leave. Get out, get out, get out!
They're right. I should go.
That night, the ugly duckling flew over the farmyard fence and landed on the other side of the lake. There, he met 2 grown-up ducks.
Can I please stay here for a while? I have nowhere else to go.
What do we care? Just don't get in our way.
Suddenly, a big hungry dog came chasing the 2 ducks. They quickly flew up in the air. The poor ugly duckling froze in fear. The dog sniffed and sniffed at the ugly duckling, then turned away.
I am even too ugly for the big hungry dog.
Ugly duckling began to move along. Soon after, an empty lake appeared.
Well then, if nobody wants me, I will hide here forever.
Even though he was all alone, he was very happy. One day, he saw a horde of white long-necked birds migrating to the south.
How beautiful they are! I wish I could be like them.
Winter came and snow began to fall, so it was hard to find food. Cold and tired, trying to forage, the ugly duckling came across a farmer.
Poor thing, you must be freezing. I'll take you home and look after you till you grow.
Indeed, the farmer took good care of the ugly duckling. When spring arrived, the ugly duckling had grown. The farmer took him back to the lake to give him more space to move around freely. The ugly duckling looked at his reflection in the water, but he was amazed at what he saw. At first, he couldn't recognize himself.
He thought there was someone else behind him. So he flipped his wings and noticed that his reflection was doing the same thing. He stretched out his neck, and his reflection continued to mirror his movements. Right then, he knew that this amazing bird was no one other than himself.
Oh, how much I've changed! I look like the birds in the sky!
While he was swimming in the lake, he came across a wedge of swans. They took him along and traveled joyfully together. Finally, the ugly little thing was accepted and loved by his new friends, to whom he belonged. A boy at the lakeshore yelled out to his friends,
Hey, look at the young one all the way back. Must be the most beautiful swan I've seen.
The swan did not know how to react to so much praise. He felt shy. After being mocked for so long, he couldn't believe he was being appreciated and accepted.
I've never dreamt someone would call me beautiful someday. I wish I had received the same affection when I was the little and ugly creature. I wouldn't have spent such a sad childhood. Why do people treat others according to their looks? That is so sad.
Yes, from the beginning, he indeed was a swan. He was just an unfortunate egg, which got mixed up in between the ducks. But now, he was with his real family, and ahead of him was a happy life.